Bonjour, bonjour. Today we're making coq au vin on Cooking with John. Alright guys, tonight we're making coq au vin on Cooking with John. I've been kind of wanting to make this one because it just sounds kind of neat. I don't know, it just sounds classy, but really it isn't. It's just this French stew with wine in it, right? So just tenderize the chicken because it's supposed to be old rooster, but I don't have old rooster. I've got young chickens, but we won't worry about that. I'm not going to go run around chasing rooster. Not today anyway. So this recipe is courtesy of The Endless Meal, and this is Julia Child's coq au vin. So I like that. That's her Julia Child, so let's give it a whirl, see what she's got. So it says to start, we're going to take our chicken and we're going to marinate it in our wine, brandy, and chicken stock. They called for 4 drums and 4 thighs, guys. I did a little tiny bit more than that because, well, my thighs were pretty small, so I'm hoping it'll be alright. I should have enough room for everything. If I don't, I guess I look like the fool, so that's okay. I can live with that. So it says to marinate the chicken. It doesn't really say for how long. Just give me troubles. Alright, my bowl is not as big as I thought it might be. Oh, there we go. We got some airspace in there. There's the problem. So we're going to marinate the chicken in the wine. That's a cup and a half of wine. Cup of chicken stock, so we're ruining perfectly the wine here. Ordinarily I'd be dead against, but hey, for this recipe, right? It's worth giving a shot. And then we got a 1/4 cup of brandy. So that bowl is about as full as it's coming. So that's okay. So it says to marinate that while we prepare our vegetables. Take a look how full that bowl is. I was very close to. That's a bowl of wine and chicken if you ask me. So, anyway, we're going to let that marinate for a little bit. I'm going to prep everything up, and we will be right back with our coq au vin on Cooking with John. Welcome back, guys. I got my prep done for it. Got my onions, my mushrooms, carrots, all the other stuff. I don't have any pearl onions. We couldn't find any. So I just put a few more onions in. I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference. Obviously, they're not pearl onions, but I don't have any, so what are you going to do? Anyway, we're going to start with our bacon, because it tells us to braise that in a pan or cook it for about 8 minutes or so until brown or crisp. So this goes on top of the coq au vin. So it says. I'm kind of excited about this one, as I said, guys. I don't know, just seems neat. Never done that sort of thing before. Never made coq au vin, so it seems kind of exciting, doesn't it? Kind of exotic. Maybe not really, but hey, whatever. That's okay. And you know, I've heard of Julia Child, so that's a plus, I guess. And why not? Something French. I mean, you can't get more French than coq au vin, I don't think. Well, you probably could, but that's okay. So that's some French person telling me that later. Anyway, so we're going to cook that off. And guys, don't forget, if you like what you see, throw those thumbs up. Don't forget that subscribe button as well. And if anything you want to see me make, like, I don't know, whatever, let's make coq au vin tonight. Something else you want to see me make, just throw in the comments. I'd be interested to hear from you. So, we're going to let this cook off for a few minutes. We'll be back in a sec. So our bacon is cooking away, guys. It's not there yet, but we can pull our chicken out of the marinade for now. We're going to do this in batches, it tells us to do, because I can't fit all that in one pan. So we're going to pull it out, and it says to dry it with a paper towel. So that's what we're going to do. Pull the chicken out and dry it. I'll pull out a few pieces and dry them, and then kind of work on it from there. While our bacon cooks up. Ooh, they're very red. I guess it's probably the red wine. Well, the brandy's not red, really. It's kind of brown, right? Like, I know the brandy came from red wine. Well, you know, I know these things. But, okay, we've got a few pieces over there. Let's give this a swirl around here. And we'll give them a pat dry. So it says to do that with the chicken. It says to save our wine to add to it later. So that's what we're going to do. So let's give them a nice pat down. Oh yeah, I like that chicken. Very red. Nice and red chicken. Alright guys, I got the rest of my chicken out of the wine. My bacon is out of the pan. So it is time to put our chicken in the pan to brown it. So what we're going to do is brown it on both sides. And we're going to, yeah, that's good, baby. Don't touch my bacon, you. Yeah, no, you leave that bacon alone. So we're going to put her in there. It says to cook it for about 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Just till brown. Cook it in batches. So that's what we're going to do. Get out of my bacon, you. Oh, have a little piece then. Is it good? I better not have to cook more bacon because of you, madam. Alright, so we got some chicken in there. We're going to let that brown up on that side. You stay out of there, huh? Yeah, my little sister's stealing all my ingredients. Anyway, we're going to let that brown up for a little bit on that side, guys. And we're going to cook that off, and we'll be right back in a second when this chicken is ready to go. This thing is looking good. I'm kind of happy how this is coming together. Back in a minute, guys. Alright guys, our chicken is browned up. It's been on there for a while. I did the second batch. You can pull that off. It's looking pretty good, nice and brown. It's kind of how chicken you expect it to be if it's been cooking in oil, especially bacon grease. Which I'm sure is, you know, hey, who doesn't like to cook chicken in bacon grease? Alright, so the next step it says is to get rid of our chicken grease, or our chicken oil, / bacon oil, into a heat-proof dish, all but a couple tablespoons of it. So that's what we're going to do. I'll grab a spoon here, chuck a couple back in there, as we can. So I got my grease there, or my oil, we'll call it. Got bacon grease, guys. So it says throw 2 tablespoons of that back in there, and save this stuff for later. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to cook the onions and the carrots. It says to cook in there for about 7 or 8 minutes until they're kind of brownish, you know? They browned up a little bit. So we'll throw our onions and carrots in there. We'll cook those for 7 or 8 minutes, guys. That's what it says. Grab a spoon, give them a stir around. I don't think it's going to take too much to brown them up in there. The pan's a bit on the, there's some darker bits in there for sure after frying up that chicken. It'd be nice if I keep the onion in the pan as another one flies out. Anyway, so we're going to cook that, like I said, for about 7 or 8 minutes until brown. And we will be back in 1 moment, guys. Alright guys, the vegetables are coming along nicely. I did a kind of a calculation here just by how much vegetables are in there and the amount of chicken I have and everything else. And I think I'm going to switch pans because I just don't see this one making it. It probably would, but kind of 50-50 if you know what I mean. So I'm going to transfer this into this pan. I know that's a step that's not in the recipe, and forgive me, Julia, but unfortunately I don't know if I have a choice in the matter. So that's what we're going to do. That's a good spot for it. We'll throw the tomato paste in there. So I'm going to separate that. And it says to throw the tomato paste out. I've had that pan heating up on this element too, guys. So it says to throw the tomato paste. No, or it doesn't. I believe it actually says throw the garlic in first. Add the garlic and let it cook for a minute. So good thing I read that, or to skip my garlic again. So let's throw the garlic in there. We're going to cook that for about a minute, it says, till it's fragrant. Which really shouldn't take long for garlic to become fragrant. So we're going to give that a stir around. Yeah. Simmer away nicely. That looks like a nice little, that's a little better quantity for my pan too, if you ask me. So let the garlic cook there. After that, it says push the vegetable side in the pan and add the tomato paste. Cook the tomato paste until fragrant and it begins to darken. Then we're going to pour in the red wine and try and get rid of all the stuck bits that are on there, okay? So that's what it says. So I think our garlic smells pretty fragrant now. Probably been about a minute. Grab our tomato paste. So we're going to push that stuff aside. Push it all aside and we'll throw the tomato paste in there too. We're going to let that cook until it darkens, it says. So that's what we're going to do. It becomes fragrant. So put that in there and we'll cook that up until it darkens and becomes fragrant. And after that, we're going to add our wine, which we can add a little bit of wine to this pan to get the little stuck bits off that one first. Because I'm sure there's some stuck bits on that pan. We'll get that one cleaned up and we'll add the rest of the wine reserve into here. Oh yeah, getting fragrant, darkening up. The kids were playing with one of those laser pointers, or what the heck it was. Or maybe there was a sniper outside or something. Not really, I'm in Northern Ontario, so I highly doubt there's any snipers around, so, you know. Little buggers, and they ate all my bacon. Now I gotta pour frickin' bacon. I don't know. That's okay, though. That's the beauty of having kids.
Yum, yum.
They like bacon. They won't eat my dinner, but they'll eat my bacon. I guess that's the same with any kid, right? So there we go. We'll throw the wine back in. Yeah, I know you ate my bacon. Take off, eh? Both of you, out of here, out of here, out of here. Both of you. Alright, so we'll add the rest of our wine in there. Oh, that's bubbling away nice. So it says to do that and try and get rid of... What are you doing in there? Out of the drawer, please. Come on, guys. Alright, so we'll give that a stir around. I don't think there's going to be any stuck bits really on this, guys, because they were in that pan, so... Do that, and then it says to nestle our chicken in there and cover it with the thyme and put some thyme on top of it and to simmer it for about, well, it says 20 minutes and add the pearl onions, but as I don't have any pearl onions, I'm going to go with 30 minutes because it says simmer for 20 minutes, add the pearl onions, and then simmer for another 10. And as I said, as I have no pearl onions, I guess we'll be simmering for 30 minutes as opposed to 20. Anyway, that's okay. I hope the pearl onions aren't going to make any difference. And if they do, I apologize to Miss Childs for straying from her recipe. Anyway, got those in. Cover that up. Oh, forgot the thyme. It's time for the thyme. So we got thyme here, so we're going to add that and sprinkle that on top of the chicken, it says. About 2 teaspoons of thyme. Fresh thyme. Beautiful. There we go. And we're going to let that, that's the wrong way, we're going to let that simmer for about 30 minutes, I guess. So, we'll be back in a moment, guys. Still got some mushrooms to cook, and unfortunately I've got more bacon to cook, but that's okay. So, we'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, welcome back. Our chicken is cooking along. We're going to do our mushrooms now. I've got the oil heated up. I've got my mushrooms here. It says it takes about 10 minutes to cook them off, so we're going to put them in a pan. We're going to cook them for about 10 minutes, that's what it says to do. And then we add them to the mix at the end. You gotta love a few mushrooms in it, right? Who doesn't? So, we got those on. Chicken has come along. We would have added our pearl onions by this point, guys, but as I said, I don't have any pearl onions, so let's just pretend we have it, okay? We know what needs to know. It's our little secret. So, we'll keep cooking those mushrooms. Guys, again, as I said, if you like what you see, throw those thumbs up. Don't forget that subscribe button. We love hearing from you as well, so throw some in the comments. Just love to hear what people have to say about it. So, we're going to cook those for about 10 minutes, it says, until they're nice and soft. So they should finish up at about the same time as our chicken does. So, while we're doing that, we'll be right back. Alright guys, timer just went off. Got most of the chicken out, just the last couple pieces here, throw them in a bowl. That's what it tells us to do. And then, we're going to make a sauce to go, well, I know the sauce. Let's see what it's called. I'm going to read it again to tell you exactly what it is. So it says, now in a small bowl, mix together your choice of beret main, which is flour and butter. So I got my butter melted here. Excuse the screaming. I have children, guys, and they're busy screwing around downstairs. So we're going to mix that together. And then it says to add that to our stock, or our sauce, or whatever you want to call it. Wine juice, chicken juice, whatever you want to call it. The stuff in that pot. That's what we're going to do. We're going to mix that together nice and thin. Really? Here's my dog for me. Anyway, that's the fun of this process, guys. Filming a video with all these interruptions. It's amazing. Anyway, now we're going to add that in here, it says. So we'll drip that in. And we're going to give that a stir around and try and thicken this up a little bit. And then we're going to add our mushrooms and our chicken and our bacon back in. I cooked a little bit more bacon, guys, because mine was funny loud disappearing on me. It happens around here. Bacon theft is rampant in this house. I don't know why. Well, it's probably rampant in pretty much any house. So we're going to stir that around and let that thicken up a smidge, which it's doing very nicely. Looks like a nice gravy, tell you the honest truth. Not even red or anything. So we'll do that. Now we're going to add our chicken back in, like it tells us to do. Boom, right back in the pot. Oh, that's nice and tender. Wow. Ooh, it smells good too. I guess that's the idea, isn't it? So after that, it tells us that we can put our mushrooms in, which are nicely cooked, in with it. I don't know if my pot's big enough to stir all this stuff in, to tell you the honest truth. I'm going to try and get rid of the juice as much as I can with the mushrooms, guys, because I don't want to thin the sauce out or anything. I was going to do this with an old English lady's accent, kind of like Julia Childs, but I just didn't think that was going to work out with it well for me, so I decided to not bother with that kind of shenanigans for the episode. But I could if you... I can't. First we add the mushroom. Nah, see, it just doesn't work. So we're going to add our mushrooms, give that a bit of a stir in, a little bit. Well, she's looking like a mushroom, carrot, / chicken, and everything else mess in there. And the mess, they say that in the best way possible. So, after that, I believe it tells us to throw our bacon back on. Sprinkle that on, and a little bit of fresh thyme, which I don't have out at the moment, but I will. So we're going to add our bacon back in there. Our extra bacon that I had to cook. And we will be back in 1 second with our cock au vin. Alright guys, welcome back. Our cock au vin is served up and it's looking lovely. Never had this stuff before, guys. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's like things I've had, but we'll grab a knife and fork and see what we think about this. Got some chicken on there, some carrots, looking beautiful. It's basically a stew. But see how tender this stew is. Alright. That's very tender. Wow, that's really good. A nice flavor to it. You can taste the wine for sure and the brandy and whatnot, but that's part of it. Wow, that is good stuff. I've never had it, and I'd make that again for sure. Anyway, if you like what you see, guys, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget that subscribe button too. And anything you'd like to see me make, or you got any thoughts on anything or whatever, just let me know in the comments. This has been Cooking with John. We'll see you next time, guys. This was a good one. I like this one.